Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome
Hello.
to Coach Mentorship Wrap Up. We waited a really long time, literally 20 minutes, to see if anyone would hop on. And yet, here we are, just the two of us.
Just hanging out.
I was eating my sandwich, so I decided to finish. And we just figured since there wasn't going to be any questions, we could probably give you all the information quite quickly. Our sweet friend Andy is trying to not have a baby, or maybe she's trying to have a baby. Time will tell.
Her due date's May 10th. Is it too early to have her, or is it fine?
Totally
It's
fine.
now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah, she'd be great. But yeah, here we are. And you guys, a couple shout outs. Emily and Anna, you guys killed it. I feel like you stayed the
course.
And really, I think that by staying the course, you're just showing yourself that like you can do consistent things. It's just like finishing a program. A lot of times in Beachbody, I feel like you want to jump, you like something new comes out, it's shiny, it's new, and you start doing it, and then you never finish it. And you start doing it, and you never finish it. And so, way to finish strong. And for those that haven't finished strong, don't think that you can't. You can absolutely finish, or you can jump into the new one that starts today. All things are options. So we're just going to kind of maybe share a couple of the highlights and maybe like some non-negotiables in your Beachbody business. And so Britt, if you want to start us off.
Yeah. So one of the things that Kim and I were chatting about before we got on here, if you're wondering what these are, it's because I'm sitting in a room, there's like blinds right above me. So that's what these are. I realize I'm like playing with them. So we were talking about your mindset towards social media. Like that's something that we really encourage and challenge you to focus on, because I think sometimes you can start to think that social media is like the enemy, right? Social media takes away from your life. It takes away from your family time, everything that it takes away from. You spend so much time on social media, all of these things when it's changing all the time. It's hard to learn. But in reality, social media is like the best gift we've ever been given, because instead of us having to have direct conversations one-on-one with people where we have to start over every time, right? We have to share the entire story every single time we talk to them. We have to talk to them in person, all of these things. Social media gives us a platform to share our story consistently, where people then can see us over the course of time, where people then can go to our pages and learn more about what we do. We've talked before about the idea that social media, like your Facebook, your Instagram, like those are like your storefronts. Like those are where people can go to see what you have to offer. And so it's really important for you to have something to showcase, because if someone walks by a store and there's nothing in the window, or it doesn't look like it's been opened in a while, or it looks like it's closed, they're just going to go to a different store. And so we just want to encourage you to change your mindset about social media in that think about the reality that it's such a gift that you've been given. If you feel like you've been spending way too much time on social media, then I want you to really think about what you're actually doing when you're actually on social media. If you need to, almost like a food log, if you need to kind of do like an activity log of like what you're doing when you sit down at the computer, do so you can actually see how you're spending your time. Because if you're just scrolling your timeline, if you're getting sucked into reading other coaches' posts to figure out what you could post about, that's actually not working. Like those aren't working hours. Those are just browsing hours. But it can feel like now you've just spent all this time working with no productivity, nothing, no forward motion. Another thing about it is make sure to sit down and talk to your family members to get them on board, your roommates, whoever you live with, whoever needs to be on board with this, and let them know that you need to be on social media for a certain amount of time so that you can build this business because it's important to you. Tell them why you want to build this business. I want you to set working hours. Like if you go back to the mindset of having a power hour, you can schedule that in advance. You can look ahead at your schedule this week and you can know when you're going to sit down and when you're going to work, whether you're breaking it into chunks of time or you're going to sit down all at once. So you can let your family members know, whether you share a Google Calendar with them and they know when your working hours are, or it's just something that you've discussed in advance. And that's when you sit down and actually work, and you can power through it, get it all done, and then you can go back to spending time with your family. And so I think that those are a couple things I wanted to share about your mindset towards social media, and maybe taking some of the burden off of thinking this is so overwhelming, it's the worst, it's too much. And then just a couple more things before then I'll pass to Kim, but all based still on this mindset of social media. One tip is that sometimes you might feel like you have nothing to post about. Sometimes I do things just to have something to post about it. And honestly, again, it just goes back to this mindset of, this is a job. Like, that's part of my job, is to let people into my life, to share something. So whether it's, I'm just going to take a picture of my cup of coffee. Kim brought up the idea of, like you have this coloring book that you've been wanting to do. And so you just sit down and kind of color for a little bit so you can post about it. Or maybe you have nothing going on, so you share about the fact that you have nothing going on. The reality is you need to be consistent with your posting, and also sometimes like think ahead. And if you feel like you've got nothing to post about, or you feel like it's just a really off day, you want to like 0 pictures. If you're taking extra pictures on days when you do feel like you are happy with your pictures, changing your shirt a little bit, then you can kind of just go into your photo library and take a picture from yesterday and post it today with whatever you want to say about it. So those are just a couple mindset tips that we didn't specifically talk about necessarily in the group, but I wanted to make sure to go over with you as you kind of wrap up this group and as we go on with the rest of our coaching careers.
Yeah, I think that it's, I think we think like, well, who wants to know about us being bored or coloring? When the fact of the matter is, sometimes when I am in that mood where I don't have anything going on in my life, I'm also in a funk in my head, because let's be real, how often are we doing nothing? So then it makes me it's almost like therapy. Now all of a sudden I am doing something because it's getting me out of my own headspace, and now I'm like doing the right thing. So I just think there's so much, it just goes back to like, there's just so much value in Beachbody for your whole life, like everything changes, I feel like, for the good. So, and then I feel like something that's changed for me in this business is, I would be lying if I told you that I spent as much time as I do now on invites that I ever did before. I felt like most of my business came in through ads or, warm market, cold, just being, pretty present on social media. But I kind of had to pick up my game this past 6 months or so. So for me, inviting always felt so cold, right? It always just feels like, and I don't love the like form invites where you're, trying to create a bond, because that's just not my personality when you know what I'm about. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, if I message you out of nowhere, you pretty much know what I'm all about. So I found that rather than being afraid to just say, listen, I'm obsessed with helping women find freedom in their health and fitness. I feel like you would be a great fit for, based on some of the posts that you've posted about, I just feel like you would love this community and you would thrive in it. And I would love to just invite you to our next group. Here's what's happening. And bada bing. And when I send out 50 of those a day, which is how many I send at this point in the game, those people are usually my next people. They're not usually that month. Some are, but most of them are who end up joining the next month. But it's crucial that you don't ever just stop because you don't feel like it. And if you want this business to work and you want to make it in a way that it is impactful for your family, then you're going to have to figure out what your non-negotiable is. Like, what is the amount of money that you're trying to make, or how many people are you trying to help, or, because for each of us, it's so different. And you can make it as big and as little as you want to, really. It's totally up to you. So, don't be afraid of invites. I think that people actually respect it more when you come right out and say what it is that you're trying to say. I really do, especially if they hear your heart in your consistency in your posts on social media. It's when you don't post and people don't really know what you're all about, and then all of a sudden you're inviting them. They're like, wait, I thought you were like, I didn't even know this is what you did. And you're like, oh, really? I swear my posts say this. But like, that's what you want to avoid. So that's why consistency in posting is so crucial. Aside from that, I think, engage with the team. I think that is it can be a lonely thing being, especially like for me, I'm home all day, and, but I know we all have these Voxers and these group texts and, a Success Club partner, whatever. Just go all in with somebody, with a group, and be present and have fun. The more fun you have with this, the more you're always going to enjoy it. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add, Britt.
Yeah, something that you said like sparked me, my mindset of just, it's true, like what Kim said, like you need to set your goals for this business. And in the same way that one thing that I tell my challenge groups is to eat and drink according to your goals, is that you need to work according to your goals when it comes to your Beachbody business. And it's okay. If your goal is to go full time, then yeah, like you're going to need to step it up a little bit. If your goal is to be consistent and help 3 people each month so that you can hit Success Club, because, and then also because you want to have a consistently growing business, but like that's a great pace for you, then do that. Don't get sucked into being concerned about what other people are doing or not doing. It's just that you are responsible for whatever you want to get out of this business. And it is a lot of work and it does take consistency, but what you gain from it is more than what you give up. And so more than what you sacrifice. And so if you just continue to think about why you're doing this, then I think that also really helps. Like, I think there are a lot of correlations between your mindset and your approach to your health and fitness goals and to your business goals. So be consistent. If you're going to kind of sort of commit to your business, you're going to kind of sort of see results in it. In the same way that if you kind of sort of commit to your health and fitness, you're going to kind of sort of see results in that. And to approach this with consistency and intensity and all of the advice that you give to your challengers, tell yourself the same advice when it comes to your health and your business goals. And so I would say that that's just kind of the last thing. And then use this group as a resource. If you need to go back and check out any of the posts, you can just search by any keyword that you want in the group and find those posts again. If you want us to show you where in the back office where you can get the template for all of these posts, let us know. If you want to go into the next group and go through it again, let us know. There's no shame in going through these groups multiple times and asking questions multiple times. This is something that it's brand new, so it's going to take you some time to learn. But this is a business that we truly believe anyone can be successful at if you follow the guidelines and if you're just consistent and if you dig into training, if you're reaching the right people who relate to you, that you can be successful in this. And so we just want to encourage you and say that we're so excited that you're here. We're so excited that you watched this video, that you went through our training, and know that we are here for you and that we're really excited to help you succeed in any way that we can.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay. One last little thing, because you reminded me when you said it, is when you begin to get customers, make a priority of figuring out how to keep track of them. It's just something that I feel like you don't always think of right away, because you're like, oh, I only have like 3 of them. It's no big deal. And yes, it's all online on your, in your online office, but have a means of checking in with them, and not just in the challenge group. People are yearning for people and relationship. And if you can be that person for somebody, I promise you, you will be so fulfilled and your passion will continue to skyrocket for just for this business. So that's all I was going to add. We are here as helping hands, and I hope that you all just have the best day. And if we get to see you on the next group, then great. And if not, then maybe you'll be at Summit and we can all sing Kumbaya together. Okay, I'm going to stop recording. Bye, friends.
Bye.